So I guess in the order I'm seeing you guys on my screen, I'll go Ben, and Uriah, then Drew. What about this film really drew all of your interest in being a part of it?
Um, it was for me. It was the character Randall. He was this very damaged human that was definitely interesting to me as an actor to play someone who isn't portrayed to be so perfect. And also talking to our director Marcus Dunstan, just hearing his passion and enthusiasm for the movie definitely made me excited to get into it.
I think from my perspective, it's been on my bucket list to do a zombie movie since I was a kid. I always wanted to be a part of one. I've loved them. And I really love the idea of playing like bad guys and like mean characters, because it's something that I'm not. So it's a really cool thing to step out of that and just be something wholly different. And the more the script developed, because we had some pretty big rewrites in the beginning, the more my character got humanized, and the more I was like, oh, that's why he's like that. That's why he's messed up. That's why mistreats people. Okay, all right, and finding him, get that resolution at the end of being like, okay, like we don't have to be a dick just because we went through some stuff. It really drew me to it, and then it held me into it. I really liked it.
Yeah. Oh my god. What drew me was like, I just one. It's a zombie movie. It's a fun like John Hughesy zombie movie where we're all like, we're running from zombies and finding out more about ourselves. And part of, also for me to have the clear like character goal, like for Steven's goal in the movie to like I want to be with Ever like more than anything. Like I've spent my entire I imagine from kindergarten to senior year, I've just been like in love with Ever, and to be like to have a fun I wouldn't say it's a romantic role at all. You've seen the movie, it's not a romantic role, but to have like this fun like energy on top of all the things that are happening in the movie, from running from zombies and bullies and this and that, to have like this, then when me and Ever get to have scenes where it's just us, like there's this unspoken energy like right away where it's like, oh, they kind of, what's gonna happen? Do they kind of like each other, or what's gonna happen?
Will they, won't they?
Will they, won't they?
Will they, won't they? And it turns out in a certain way, to say the least.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Something does happen.
So since you do mention that though, Drew, your character is in a similar vein to your one in Halloween 2018. So except with different personality. So I'm curious what that was like for you from an actor's perspective, really trying to help ensure that there was a difference in the characters, the way that audiences see them.
Oh yeah. You're right. On paper, I think Steven and Oscar are very kind of similar, like excited, long-haired, very, very one-sided relationship with the female lead of either film. Was great with Steven was he had so much he was so like, I don't want to say anxious, but but also he was so anxious of what people thought about him, of what even his best friend Randall thought of him. Like I want to be the best friend I can to be to Randall, and I'm so scared of whatever thinks of me, and I think Steven's so like bogged down by his own intrusive thoughts that then it leads him to situations like Unhuman.
That it does go down an interesting path for him in this movie, to say the least. So Ben, for you then, since you did mention that Randall is a very damaged character, I mean, what was that like for you, especially since there were so many rewrites? Did you have any inspirations for what this character would be? Because when I talked to Marcus earlier, he had mentioned how a lot of the characters are supposed to be these genre cliches, so to speak. So with you, did you have any major inspirations for your character?
I wouldn't say I pulled from anything specifically. just from you know, my personal experiences in high school. You know, I was homeschooled, so just kind of going into like the feeling isolated, not having too many friends, and you know, I hung around a couple bridges and listened to moody music. So that was
Ben's
about
back.
it. And you know, occasionally, you know, the darker questions can creep in. So I guess that's kind of where I drew inspiration from.
Gotcha. Okay. And so Uriah, how about for you? I mean, we've seen you play a jock-like character before with Freaky, as over my shoulder there. But you got Freaky there, you got Halloween over there. I know it's a little hard to see with the lighting, but
Nice, nice.
I had to show a little love. But with
I didn't notice that. Thank you.
you're welcome. But with this one, I mean, your character is so opposite of Booker. I mean, what was that like for you, really exploring this different archetype and trying to set yourself apart, much like Drew, where you have a similar character on paper who's far different as the film goes on?
Well, one of the really cool developments that we had was I was supposed to die on page 24 in the original script. I got my head blown off. And after the audition tape, I guess they liked what I did. And they kind of made him a more prominent character. And when they did that, as we were shooting, they added in all these humanizing elements. And you realize that even though he is this dickish jock, and you know, he's very different from Booker. You know, he's very arrogant, he's cocky, and you know, very uncaring and selfish. You start to kind of realize why. When he was younger, he was bullied for being heavy, and you know, all that manifested into this protected shell that he just carried around with him, and it was really heavy on him. And you know, when he was able to let that go, he actually started being able to rebuild his relationships. And I was able to pull a little bit from my own life with that. I was never overweight, but I was severely underweight after a motorcycle wreck. I went from like 155 pounds down to 98. And I remember hating what I saw in the mirror. I was, you know, ripped open, you know, big foot long scar down my stomach, and just, you know, I looked like a wraith. And it took a lot of hard work, and it took a lot of external and internal growth for that as well. And I know how slippery of a slope that can be, where you just want to dig into it and not give a fuck about anybody. But I was lucky I didn't go down his path, but I know how easy it can be to go down that path. So I was really happy to be able to explore that. It was really therapeutic in a way.
Well, that's great then. That's an unexpected blessing of a role, right?
Really was, though. You know, I got to credit Marcus to it. You know, he really gave those humanizing elements, and he trusted me to play it. And you know, I'm really grateful to him and the whole Blumhouse team.
Blumhouse team has done very little wrong thus far.
Yeah.
So since you do mention the rebuilding of relationships with your character, this next question is for all of you guys, but I mean, so much of this film works because of your guys' rapport with one another, whether it be antagonistic, friendly, whatever it may be. So what was that like for all of you, coming up with that off camera before bringing it into every scene?
What was really great was we had the shoot was it was a pretty long shoot, and we had these long full days with each other, and you know, it's like we're all in, it was pretty special to, like, we're all in these scenes together, and then it's like, and then we're all hanging out together, you know, in between shots, and then like, oh, it's wrapped and we're done at like 6, let's all get dinner. Let's go right next to the hotel and go get dinner. Oh, it's the weekend, we only have a day, and then we shoot on Sunday. Great, let's all go out and do something in New Orleans and then come back, and then like we get driven to this. So it was like, I mean, there was so much communal bonding because we got that opportunity, which was fantastic, because I feel like on some sets, you know, it's like you maybe meet like 1 or 2 people, and then the people shoot around you, and then you sometimes don't meet everyone. But this, we all got to meet and hang out and have fun the whole time.
When you're filming in such close proximity with your coworkers, it's there's so much that can go wrong. I mean, it's especially with people in the industry, you know. But I gotta say, the fact that we had a few days before shooting to bond and, you know, go out, grab drinks, grab food, get to know each other really well, really helped everything go smoothly. And that was something that was really important to this, because like Drew said, we had a lot of long days, a lot of long nights. It's not an easy thing shooting in, Louisiana summertime. It's, when there's no AC and you're filming outside, it's hot, everybody's just pushing through it. But you knew that the guy to your right and the guy to your left, or the girl to your right, the girl to your left, we knew they were going to perform because we got to spend that time with them. We got to get to know them really well. So we knew that they weren't just going to leave us hanging.
Right. Yeah. No, we had a lot of fun behind the scenes, and definitely went out to Bourbon Street a couple times, watched some basketball games. I remember Drew and CJ, they made a quick Walmart run. I was like, hey guys, can you stop and give me a Rubik's Cube? And they did, and we had a bunch of fun.
Oh yeah, a lot of shared. Hey, I'm running out to this. Who needs what?
Right.
Great, we're doing that. Karaoke. Right. Were you guys at the one karaoke night?
I didn't make it to that one.
I don't think you made it to the karaoke night. Well, if anyone wants to
CJ
see me.
did.
I remember part of the karaoke night.
That was fun with the cast and crew, and that was great. Like we also which was great. Like not only like the cast bonded, it was like, I mean, it was a big crew, but it also wasn't like, I was trying to think of how many people were on it the other day, because it wasn't like a large, like a huge crew. Like like everyone knew each other and everyone was with each other all day, and like we all went out like together as cast and crew, which was fantastic.
It was a good size, but it was intimate. It was really nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a rarity that you get in Hollywood. So that's great that you all had that opportunity to bond.
It was really special.
For my final question before I have to go, since you all mentioned your love of zombie movies, what are your favorite zombie movies?
Ooh.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Dang it. I just saw that for the first time.
Love Edgar Wright. Oh.
I think 28 days later and 28 weeks later, I think they kind of changed the genre a good bit. They were just brutal. They were like honest. They really explored the humanity aspect of it, the total psychological breakdown associated with it. But as far as like, the whole creatures, World War Z and I Am Legend, man, they were some terrifying zombies. They were fast, they were vicious, they were just completely animalistic, but they also had some humanizing elements to them as well, which made them even more terrifying because you felt something for them,
And my favorite zombie movie, Unhuman 2022, June 1st. Best zombie movie of all time.
There you go. Good call. I like it. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I really do appreciate it. I had a blast with the film. I had fun talking with you all, and I look forward to spreading the word about it.